Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. I'm recording this for a second time because the first one was just too long. I'm going to try and keep this one a lot shorter. I haven't done a video for a while because I've been changing jobs. At least I'm making a living wage now. It's nice to be able to pay your bills and buy groceries. And I've had allergies that are just horrible. My first springtime in Alabama after 12 years in the desert, and I'm feeling it. All right, so Mike Pompeo, U.S. Secretary of State, trying not to throw up as I say that, made a policy statement toward Iran today. That included a list of 12 demands for Iran or face the toughest U.S. sanctions so far. All right, well, the fact is that, I'm sorry I keep coughing. That is the allergies I was talking about. So the fact is that Iran, this is an empty threat because Iran has not been trading with the United States basically hardly at all since 1979, and that's just gotten worse over the last few years anyway. And the other countries that signed on to the JCPOA, they're not withdrawing. They're refusing to enforce any sanctions from the U.S. Because Iran is complying. There is no evidence they're not complying. All right, so let's take a very quick look. I'm going to skip over most of these. If you want the full list of the demands that Pompeo made for Iran, just look at the written version. Let's see. Most of this involves things that were already included in the JCPOA, but I guess that America didn't. It wasn't our own demands. Too much testosterone. We got things like, let's see, end proliferation of ballistic missiles and halt further launching or development of nuclear-capable missile systems. End proliferation of ballistic missiles means just to stop building any missiles. Leave yourself completely undefended against any aggressions from Israel. I think not. Anyway, end development of nuclear-capable missile systems. Nuclear-capable sounds scary, right? Sounds real scary. You know what makes a missile nuclear-capable? That you can remove the conventional warhead and bolt on a nuclear warhead. If it will lift and launch the nuclear warhead, which is about the same weight as the conventional warhead, you've got a nuclear-capable missile. That's what that means. That's all it means, which is virtually every missile in existence, period. Any missile large enough to carry a nuclear warhead. So, release all U.S. citizens and U.S. allies. That means spies that were caught in their country. U.S., Israeli, and Saudi spies that were caught in their country. You want them released? Do it the right way. Come to the table with something to trade. In support to Middle Eastern terrorist groups, including Hamas and Hezbollah. All right, I'm not a big fan of Hamas, but the Hamas and Hezbollah are both political entities. They're both political parties in their countries with military components or militaristic components. They were created in response to Israeli aggressions, attacks, and invasions on their country. They didn't exist until those attacks from Israel occurred. respect the sovereignty of the Iraqi government. Yeah, the U.S. telling someone to respect the sovereignty of the Iraqi government. Excuse me, we're the ones that went in there and killed their the leader of their government and installed a puppet regime. And the fact is that the Iraqis and the Iranians are getting along better now. Iraq is allowing Iranian convoys to cross the country to deliver weapons and equipment and so forth to Lebanon and Syria. Respect the Iraqi. Yeah, okay. In support for Houthi rebels in Yemen, and work toward a peaceful political settlement in Yemen. The Yemeni people are being slaughtered by Saudi Arabia, but yeah, stop supporting the rebels that are the only thing that are keeping them from being completely wiped off the face of the planet. Yeah, let's see. Withdraw all forces under Iran's command from the entirety of Syria. ISIS was defeated by a combination of Syrian, Russian, and Iranian forces. You know who doesn't want Iranians in Syria? Israel doesn't, because Israel wants to invade and take everything, take over all of Syria. They already occupy the Golan Heights and have for 50 years against international law. Anyway, skip over some of that. In threatening behavior against Iran's neighbors. Okay. All right. So, yeah. In threatening behavior against Iran's neighbors, many of whom are U.S. allies, including threats to destroy Israel and firing missiles at Saudi and UAE, and threats to international shipping and cyber attacks throughout the world. So now it's Iran that's conducting cyber attacks around the world. I thought that was Russia's job. Damn it, Russia, you had one freaking job, and you dropped it and left it to the freaking Iranians. Lazy bastards. The only missiles fired against Saudi or UAE countries has been in defense or retaliation for what they've done in Yemen. As far as shipping is concerned, it was a U.S. ship that fired on an Iranian vessel last year. The Iranian vessel belonged there. What was the U.S. ship doing there at all? This whole list is nothing but a wish list written by Netanyahu and with, Pompeo acting like his little sock puppet. So, Saudi Arabia and Israel want to overrun the entire Middle East with no resistance, and that's what this is about. Iran has not invaded another country in over 200 years. In the last 50 years, Israel has attacked or invaded every one of its neighbors. Palestine, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Cyprus, and even bombed a U.S. ship, the USS Liberty, at one point. And I'm pretty sure that I'm leaving a few things out, a few victims out. Look at what Saudi Arabia is trying to do to Qatar and Yemen and everyone else. They're all trying to dominate and dictate the entire region. They don't want to respect each other at all. ISIS was armed and funded by the U.S. and Saudi Arabia and Israel. ISIS and Al-Qaeda have been created, armed, and funded by those entities. They're nothing but a proxy. So, anyway, all this talk about respecting the sovereignty of other countries. Yeah, like Libya, right, okay. U.S. wants to call itself the police force of the world. Yeah, we're the rogue cop, robbing, beating, killing, and planting evidence. You know, sooner or later, the victims are going to band together, and that's what I expect to happen now. Because they've seen what has happened to Palestine. They've seen the UN, Iran has made an agreement, and the U.S. withdrew from that agreement and now wants to call them the bad guy. These countries, these political parties, these militias, they cannot trust, and they know they cannot trust America and Israel and Saudi Arabia. They are going to band together because everything they've got is destroyed. What are they going to lose at this point? You know, what are they going to do after they beat ISIS? Are they going to pack up and go home and wait for more attacks to come in? No, they're grieving. They're battle-hardened. They're ready for it. These countries that have been using proxies are not ready for what's coming. So, anyway, some people are going to try and let this speech by Pompeo fade in the distance. They're going to try and ignore the correlations to what Israel has done. But the people in the Middle East have long memories, and they've already drawn those correlations. This speech was the final turning point. Between this and what has happened with Israel shooting down peaceful protesters in Palestine, this was the turning point. It might not show immediately, but it's going to show soon. This was a full pivot. There's no turning back from this. Anyway, please please hit like and subscribe. Please share this video, article, however, and anyway, talk to you later. Have a good one.